Hey, Stella. Honestly, we gotta save Jake.
I don't know what would have happened if you hadn't been.
I mean, okay, we'll talk to you, and then we'll go save Jake.
If you're ready to get started on the next phase, let me explain.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I got a pal in Good Neighbor. Goes by the name Hancock.
You know Hancock?
After what happened at University Point in Quincy, he's got some concerns about the next shoe to drop in downtown Boston.
What do you mean?
Every urban area has pressure points. Centers of gravity that hold a region's economy together.
Yes, yes.
Take out the pressure points, and it inflicts a disproportionate amount
You're
of
talking about
economic
taking out a city?
Trade suffers, supply chains stop moving, and eventually
You're talking about taking a... What are you talking about?
the fabric of society starts to crumble. The Institute knows this, so do the Gunners. It's not hard to guess what their next targets might
Diamond
be.
City.
Is Diamond City really in danger? It's not like there's raiders pounding on the gate.
Maybe not raiders, but they got super mutant hordes right around the corner.
That's true.
Since
They sure do that.
government. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Diamond City isn't the settlement most in danger of falling. Good Neighbor is.
Why do you say that?
You mean besides the elevated sniper perches surrounding the town, and the relative ease of
Yeah.
blockading the entrance so no food or supplies can get in or out?
I mean, honestly, love
yeah.
Good Neighbor.
Obviously.
It's like this. If your settlement is poor, you can't afford adequate security. If your security stinks, your enemies eventually take notice, and sooner or later, they'll either demand tribute or
Yep.
conquer you.
So, if you want your city not to get pillaged, you need a functional economy. It's hard to pull off when your clientele is primarily low-end chem addicts
Yeah.
and drugs. There's no real money in catering to riffraff like that. For Good Neighbor to survive, it needs to attract a higher class of clientele.
Okay, so...
If you have a point, make it.
Bottom line, Hancock wants to clean
That's
up
right.
Good Neighbor. Starting with the chem dealers selling drugs to kids, the thugs harassing visitors for protection money, the back alley murders, the gang activity, and the never-ending stream of
Yeah,
aspiring
you know,
scam artists.
structural violence.
He
Get rid of the
wants
structural
all of them
violence, you
gone.
know?
Not detained, not bargained with, just gone.
Makes sense to get rid of the trash. What's the catch?
As mayor, he can't be officially connected to ordering hits of
Yeah.
his constituency. So, he's contracted out certain jobs on the down low to a few people he trusts. That's where you come in.
I need some details here. I have no idea what I'm getting into.
There's 3 jobs I want you to start with. First job is to entrap an old ghoul who's been trying to rip off Hancock. Second one is to eliminate a Triggerman gang infesting the town's warehouses.
Okay.
Third task is to take out a few miscreants plaguing the local economy. You can do the jobs in any order you want. I've written down all the details on this holotape, including the local contacts to get started. Once the jobs are complete, cross them off your list and we'll move on to the next phase. And one more thing. You did us a solid with that gunner job.
Yeah?
Anything we can help you with in return?
My son, Sean, was kidnapped. I'm looking for help to find him.
Another...
Man, sorry to hear that. Can you describe how he got kidnapped?
We were in a vault when it happened. Vault 111. It was some kind of cryo facility. My husband was murdered. He was just trying to keep them from taking Sean, and they just
Take your time. We're listening, of course, but details would be helpful.
There was a man and a woman. They didn't say much, but I remember they called me the backup. The woman was dressed in, I think it was kind of a
Get
hazard
behind your
suit.
labor management committee? Together we win? Wow.
Some sort of
Yeah,
metal
we're in a-
brace on his arm.
Weird old...
One of them came right up to me.
What do you call this?
Bald head, scar across his left eye. I'll never forget that voice.
This is an old corporation,
Low
remember?
and rough. Like sandpaper. Across your face.
You didn't happen to get a name, did you?
Oh, yeah. I heard their names, their home addresses, and where their diary keys are hidden.
Yeah, kinda figured. So Vault 111 was a cryo facility? That's crazy. I headed up there once, but it was sealed shut.
They had us cryogenically frozen in these pods. But something malfunctioned. The man who killed my husband, he had a handgun. I didn't get a clear look at it, but that sound.
Rather traumatic, I suppose. So,
You're saying you could
no name.
tell the
The killer had
gunshot?
a bald head, scar,
I don't know,
gravelly
honey.
voice, and likely a rep for doing shady jobs. Sounds a bit like a local merc named Kellogg. Somewhat nasty character.
Rumor is he had a place in Diamond City, but there's something else.
Please, tell me what you know.
Fuck, this is a tough one. I shouldn't be sharing this, but it's your kid we're talking about. Look, check the desk in my room. There's a holotape in there. Might have some answers you're looking for.
Okay.
A holotape? What's on it?
Tough to explain. You need to see it for yourself.
Okay.
But the gist is, back in Quincy, when Stella's mom was bleeding out in my arms, the last thing she told me was to pull a holotape out of her cargo pants pocket. Not the type of thing you expect to hear in someone's dying words.
That's
I asked
interesting.
her why. Didn't get an answer. She just whispered to show it to Stella when she was old enough. Just like that, she was gone.
Interesting. Alright, so we're getting more of Stella's backstory here.
Part of me wishes I hadn't.
I appreciate you telling me all of this. I know it's difficult.
Just promise me that whatever happens, you don't mention a word of this to Stella. She doesn't know, and that's the way it's gotta stay.
Okay. Very well, Murphy.
I appreciate the trust.
And hey, good luck out there.
Alright. That's why I didn't hear it before. It's like a... Okay, Hancock has asked for the help cleaning up Good Neighbor so it can attract a higher class of clientele. There are 3 jobs. Okay, that's... Yeah, we know that. Oh, I see. Okay, these are the... So I didn't grab it? I thought I might have already grabbed it ahead of time, but maybe I just have to go grab another one? There's a different one, probably? There we go, that's the one. I got a holotape for the quest, but this is like a holotape for, like, holotape's sake, as it were. Here we are. Alright, what's on this bad boy? Give me that tea. Cloud is just a terminal somewhere else. Okay. Yeah. Conrad Kellogg. Written down, the name looks almost alien. Are those characters jumbled together in that particular order? Connie. My mother would squeal when it was time for dinner. Others would mock me because other than my grandfather, I've never encountered another man named Connie. Connie was a girl's name. They didn't end up mocking me for long. Youth was cut short by the NCR as I received invaluable lessons in shrapnel, shotguns, and shamelessness. I tore at my assignments with insane zeal. Anything to erase the shame of my fucking idiot father and endless bragging about raider days. Do you know what's more pathetic than a raider? An old, impotent raider. Absolutely turns your stomach to see this pitiable sight. The endless whining through toothless gums, complaining about how things aren't nearly as hell-bent for leather as they were in the old days. As if his old days were worth anything at all. What a legacy. Dumb violence, greed, and alcoholism. Reforged and repurposed by the NCR, I discovered my innate ability to survive. Well, flourish inside regimented structures. I could compartmentalize. I could keep my thoughts locked away. I could keep focused and disciplined. These qualities may have been augmented since, but it was obvious they were always there. The scenery changed. San Francisco. Sarah, Mary, Scenes of familial bliss. Boxes within boxes. Boxes outside boxes. Always something in another box. Suddenly, I find myself an enforcer of the one of the best. Even had most of my hair to go with it. Tell you the truth, I kind of missed the NCR. But I compartmentalized it. I enforced. I served the Emperor. I kept focus and discipline. So focused that I didn't realize I was about to lose my wife and daughter. But I compartmentalized. The Institute would soon find its ideal servant. Ooh. Vault 111, October 11th. 2227. Something about that kid hit me like a ton of bricks. I was supposed to kill him and let my assistant extract his DNA right there in the vault. It was a clean environment, they said. Come back, drop off the DNA, and have a nice little rest until the next assignment. Instead, it all went balls up. Or I lost my balls. Or something about balls. Fuck no. Knows what I'm even talking about. Still rattled, still second guessing my second guessing. This when I'd already been with the Institute for a while. I should probably go back and talk about how that happened first. How I got all the way across this country without being part of the Brotherhood. The deal I made with these people. But I can't get this out of my head. Not right now. I had no problem popping one of the parents. What future was out there for them? Their world was fucking ash. The other one, I think I just cracked some dumb joke. The one thing running through my head was, save this kid. What the hell did this kid do? He wasn't totally fucked like the parents. A relic of a lost world with no hope. There could be a way out for him. Like there was for me. Fuck. It's talking about me and mine. Something about those vaults getting your blood. Those vaults gets your blood running cold. I've seen some sick ones for sure. Seeing those frozen clumps of cells, something in me snapped. So I brought Sean back and gave him to the Institute. It's the only time I disobeyed direct orders in this fashion. I was debriefed for days, but I told them the truth. What else was there to say? How could you lie to them? I knew what toys they had. I used them myself when I needed answers, so I told it to them like it was. Finally, it seemed to sink in. It would be okay. It would all be okay. For me, for Sean, for the Institute. Well, shit. Received another round of cybernetic implants. He's got cybernetic implants? How could this excruciating agony sense? This is the first time I'm capable of writing. Can't remember what day the operation was on. I want to say Monday? Have trouble urinating, have trouble digesting, have trouble breathing. The side effects from the drugs they pump me full of prevent my body from going into shock. They're seemingly compounding. No way to be comfortable. Always something, always for the Institute. A higher purpose, they said. Always another calling, a new way of living, a new crock of shit. I start thinking maybe I should reserve a little part of my brain all for myself. Someplace where I can think. I mean, I'm almost 100 years old. Shit, man. Trouble sleeping. Getting to sleep is continuing to be a struggle. The same few scenes keep replaying in my head as my mind races. Nothing seems to do much for it. I end up pacing or making excuses to go out for stupid, dangerous reasons. Something to stop my mind racing, something to stop these same few obsessive thoughts. They tell me it's side effects from the procedures, but I know it's the side effects from what I've been doing, what I've done. I can't blame them for ordering me. I followed the orders. I know they were wrong half the time, but that was comfortable with. But half the time, but was comfortable with the setup. I can't make excuses, so I can't sleep as a result. A petty complaint considering the amount of people who aren't alive because of me. Mother showed me the way, and for that, mother. Oh yeah, your actual mother. No way, but what you make of it, man, machine. Machine man, whatever you want to call it. The gears turning and the circuits pulsing with life and keeping that life alive for year after year. I'm as old as the ghouls and look 5 times fresher. The Institute... Okay, so yeah, that does confirm ghouls have been... So there's some ghouls that have been around since the detonation. The Institute offered to grow my hair back, but fuck it. It's all that's left of my character, of me. Except those racing thoughts, of course. There may be a way to deal with those. I'll get into it in another entry. Judy. I feel like some smug raider... Wait. Oh, man. I feel like some smug raider piece of shit bragging about helping a friend lose his virginity. But somehow, after all these years, out of nowhere, right out of a routine job doing another DE-32 mission, I met Judy. Didn't get a last name, didn't need one. I called her Jacqueline once by accident. Fuck, at least I didn't call her by my wife's name. I have to explain that I'd had a wife and it would have ruined everything. Who the hell wants to fuck a guy who just spent 2 hours moaning about his dead wife and fighting back tears while blubbering Mary over and over? Hideous. At a certain point, I'd have to explain I swore revenge and actually got it. It's even harder to comfort a man bragging about murdering a bunch of assassins. Surprised everything still works after all those operations. Surprised I still cared, but I did. Absolutely hilarious, really. It was special. One of the only days that have stuck out. Aw, he fell in love. Or got some, at least. Most of them deserved it, of course. I'm not special in that regard. I've been, like everyone else out here, killing those in the way of living, staying alive, all the cliches. But unlike most everyone out here, I'm a precision instrument. I'm their instrument, the best operative they've got. Decade upon decade of experience, all those thoughts connected all at the same time in the same second all at once. All running together. Hard to describe what's going on when your thoughts are augmented with electronics. I don't have the words to describe it, I have the numbers. The numbers continue to get higher. Kills. This guy's a gamer. Missions. Sleepless nights. Year after year after year. The only thing that will protect you in this world is that gun in your hand. I saw a grim cartoon one time when I was out on a run. A man is in a pile of garbage, utterly disheveled and filthy. Cartoon bubbles say, "It's a living. It's a living." It's been like 60 years since the Sean entry. Not how I wanted it to go down. Another one of those days I know I'll disassemble and reassemble in my head for years to come. It started pretty normal. Crisp fall sunlight with a sharp chill in the air. The assignment wasn't exactly to forge a new path for man and machine working side by side in perfect harmony. No, it was kill everyone and retrieve the tech. Man would take the machines and it was fine by me. Nothing complicated about it, satisfying, plumbing, pure craftsmanship. Blood spattering against the window, the glass shatters and embeds itself in some poor idiot's face. Bodies keep going down. Institute rifles, melting human skin again and again. Guys screaming, "Caston, get down!" as this girl was utterly torn apart. The look on his face didn't last long. He joined her a few seconds later. Horrible smell of burning flesh filled the nostril. I knew this guy named Joe was who demanded he be called Nitro in the NCR. Claimed he loved the smell of burning flesh. I don't buy it. It's completely horrible on all levels. Just something to sound tough, I guess. Nobody ever called him Nitro, not even once. The NCR. 1,000 years ago now. What have I been doing since? What compartment am I in now? I think I loathe this place. Hold on. We may have more survivors. Okay, we're finally caught up to Stella. If you're reading this, it means I never got the chance to tell you. A million apologies will never make up for that, or for me not being there to watch you grow up. But you deserve the truth. Regardless of what he did, despite what you may think of him after reading this, he's still part of you, and I can only hope you're old enough when you find this to understand that it might provide some small amount of insight into yourself. Your father and I, our short time together was beautiful, but short. I'm sorry to say he never knew you, nor did I know of his past, or the things he was capable of. But you should know that when it came to you, he had a choice. That day in University Point, when we lost our home, it was your father who saved us. He found us hiding, shivering and terrified. His eyes met mine, and then yours. He paused, briefly pondered, gazed back at you, and realized it was his own eyes staring back at him. We nodded to each other, and he directed us to safety. I gave him a goodbye hug, and as I did, I felt something in his back armor pocket. I don't remember why. Maybe it was just instinct. But I grabbed it, and now you're reading it. That was the last we saw of each other. I don't expect you to forgive me, or to forgive him. All I'm offering is the truth. Know that I will always love you, and that when it mattered most, he did too. Shit, I thought that was where this was going. Okay, so Kellogg, the guy who took Sean, had a kid with this lady Judy, and Judy is dead, because we learned that already. But, so Stella is Kellogg's kid. Holy shit. Wow. Okay, cool. That's very cool. Like the lore. I will not talk to Stella about that. I will honor your trust in me. Wow. Okay. Very cool. What we're going to do is we're going to find Jake. Where is Jake?